You already know what time it is. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye back with some tea, interviews, recaps, and more. And be sure to check the links in the description of this video for trips, for books, one-on-one sessions, and more. Now let's get into the tea. Y'all, it's tea time up in this jamboree. Sky Squad, we are back in the building, and we got to talk about Miss Angela Oakley. Man, Angela Oakley is the housewife of housewives on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay? She literally is. I feel like, and I said it in my review, I think everybody agrees that Angela would have definitely fit in well with some of the OGs on this franchise. But I gotta say, I'm glad she's here now because she's providing something very, very fresh at a time where Atlanta truly needs freshening. All right. And we're going to get into a little bit about why I think that is. And my take could be a controversial take. I don't really know, but we'll get into it. But, you know, Carlos King, Claudia Jordan, Dustin, they all do a sort of Monday Night Live special, right? In case you have been living under a rock. And they kind of give us a recap or a breakdown of things. And what I love is that last night, the tea was spilt by Carlos that Angela was actually approached to join the show in seasons 3, okay? But then also seasons 4 through 9 and turned it down every single time. Okay? Now, there's no clue as to what made her change her mind in this season, but Carlos proclaims her Rookie of the Year. Do you agree? And I would have to say that I absolutely agree with this. Absolutely agree 110%. I just feel like Angela is effortless. She's effortless. And it kind of goes into something that I have been saying about the franchise for a very long time. Well, not a very long time, but just over the past couple of years. I feel like Housewives is better when the cast members are a bit more seasoned. So women in their 40s through 60s tend to do really well because Angela is able to throw shade without really ever raising her voice. And it's just like the things that roll off her tongue are so simplistic, but they make so much sense. And they hit, but they hit in a way that never feels callous per se or destructive, if that makes any sense. They're kind of fitting. If that, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, they just kind of fit. They fit the vibe of what Housewives is all about. And then really, honestly, after Sunday night's episode, I actually went back because I tried to watch Love Hotel, but that was a disastrous effort on my part. And I can't say it's because of the show. It's just because I just started to remember like old episodes of Real Housewives of New York. And I went back and I started watching some of those. And I just kind of felt like, I mean, just seeing Luann on my screen again, I think it just kind of made me kind of go back and just say, you know what? I feel like I feel nostalgic. And the previous Sunday before that, I was watching Housewives of Atlanta season 3 when Kim and Nene and Candy were all on a tour bus. And, you know, Nene was telling Kim that her slave was behind her. Those were the days. It actually makes me want to just go and do like rewatch podcasts. Like, I got to figure out a way I can like rewatch the show and like record my reactions at the same time. I don't know. I got to figure that out. Anyway, so that's kind of my take on Housewives at this point. I feel like some of the younger housewives that come in, they kind of come in with the agenda of kind of being an it girl, right? And you know, the it girls kind of come in with all their glam and you know, I don't even like the term making a moment because I feel like, and I've had plenty of discussions off camera, not off camera. I've had plenty of like private discussions with people about the term making a moment. And I just feel like it's very overused. But I do sometimes feel like they come in with the attempt to make their mark. And I don't feel like Angela did that. I feel like she just kind of came in and just is trying to navigate these waters. And she, again, like I said, she does it effortlessly. Effortlessly. Let's actually get into a moment from the coming episode that's coming up at the end of, well, this coming week. And I think it displays what I'm talking about perfectly. This is a scene with Britt Edy versus Angela Oakley.
What she did. Let's talk about it. What's happening? I think the prophet might have been spot on.
So they're at Cynthia's Bailey Q, and it appears as though, you know, Angela's sort of sitting there, and she says that she's looking for good vibes. And then Britt says something like, well, you have to give good vibes in order to receive them. And so at that point, Angela's like, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
A little bit. What do you think?
About what? Do you have something you want to tell me? Because the energy.
What's the prophet spot on for everybody? Do you not read the words that are coming out of my mouth?
All right. So I'm not really sure. It feels like Britt is holding on to some of this animosity with Angela. And I felt like they kind of squashed it in the last episode, but maybe it's been reignited because of the things that were said about Angela when she overheard them in the pool.
Calm down. That big ass mouth, I should be able to.
Big ass mouth?
Yeah.
It sounds like you need to use that mouth more often.
Oh, Shamia, where is Shamia going? I gotta understand the theme. Anyway, Britt tells her you need to use that mouth more often. Ooh. Oh, Britt.
I do. Not as much as yours with the stretch marks around there.
See, it's kind of effortless, right? It's kind of just like the way she leaned in and leaned back and did the little point with the smile. It is very much, I mean, it's very much like, remember LaToya Jackson versus Nene? And then she tells us she got mouths on her mouth. Like, I mean, it was just so clever. Okay? It was just so clever. And I mean, I don't want to state the obvious, but it seems like a sly reference to what Kenya had spoke about or really exposed about Britt. Though I still don't agree with it, and though I don't really care for any references to it, I gotta admit, Angela, in that moment, I mean, that was savagely aligned to the point where it looked like Britt could not even really form a response. And almost like she might have wanted to laugh a little bit, but I don't know. Probably didn't want to laugh. Okay. Now, granted, what I think what happened with Britt was definitely not kosher, but Angela's response feels very much like, girl, you keep antagonizing me. Leave me alone. You're going to make me call Kenya, not Kenya, but you're going to make me reach into my bag of goodies. Whew, I'm not mad at Atlanta right now. I'm interested. Angela has me very, very, very interested. I want to move over to Reality Entertainment TV. Shout out to the Bravo Shade Room. Shout out to the Jasmine Brand. All great sources. Make sure you guys are following each of those sites. Gizelle on Watch What Happens Live with Portia. I referenced Portia and Gizelle on Watch What Happens Live, specifically Portia, because I felt like the Portia that was on Watch What Happens Live is the Portia I was expecting in the show. And I haven't seen her yet. I haven't received her quite just yet. I'm not sure where that Portia is, but I need for that Portia to show up, because the Portia that's showing up is very much not as entertaining as we know that she can be. And it just feels like it's sucking the life out of the episode sometimes. And I need for you to fix that. Again, I know this is a cancer trait. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's a cancer trait. But when that mood, like if that mood sweeps over you, the whole room gonna feel it. But that does not make for an entertaining show. It doesn't. Okay. Now let's continue on. Y'all know what? I just had an epiphany. When I am in the zone here, as though I am literally talking to you face to face, I have a better time when I'm doing this. It feels more like I feel like I'm sitting down with you at a cafe right now, and we are literally discussing like the tea. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Do you feel like that? I don't know why. Maybe it's this Starbucks that I got right here. Okay, back to the story. Sorry for digressing, y'all, but listen, I gotta be honest. That's how I feel. Because honestly, I come to this space with like a news background, right? So sometimes it's easy to fall into, news person, right? News personality, but it's always more fun, I think, when I just relax, and that's where I'm at right now in life in general. I'm just relaxing into. I also had an epiphany too. I was texting somebody today and I said, you know what? Especially for anybody out there that's dealing with grief, and I know that a lot of you are, sometimes I think you just kind of have to settle into, okay, this might just be my baseline right now. Okay. And that's okay too. You kind of live with like a little bit of sadness hanging over you, but you still manage to get through the day. That's where I'm at right now. So, and shout out to everybody for your like sincerely amazing comments. A lot of you guys have been going through some of what I've been going through as well, or more. And just hearing your stories about how you handle it and what you did has been really a blessing to me. I digress completely, right? But anyway, this is feeling like some type of long podcast. Okay, so back to what listen, the people that came straight for the tea, they're going to be mad today. Okay, they're going to be mad. Why he talking so much about his personal stuff? Okay, I'm talking to the people that's here all the time. That's who I'm talking to. Now, okay, Gizelle got some tea on Potomac, baby. So apparently Karen is in the prison running the girls. Yes. According to Gizelle, Karen is doing great in the prison. The girls love her. They are adoring her. And she is running that ship. I mean, that's good to know. Hopefully she'll be out, like they said in November or something to that degree. And hopefully she just hires a driver and never has to worry about this ever again. Now, apparently Ray is doing okay. She has heard, she's heard from the people. She's also heard from some of TJ's friends. Now, she alleges, let me put the alleged badge up here for those of you guys who is, because y'all know how it is. Okay, so allegedly, she says that she's heard from some friends of TJ's who say that it is true that Stacy did pay him, okay, and that he has not released any more tea because he is still waiting on some payment to be made to him. Now, when Portia says, I mean, okay, well, because I think that Portia was trying to take the side of the woman in this instance. But, Portia was like, and that's okay though. And still she will rise. And Gizelle is like, no, she won't. She is not Maya Angelou. Gizelle is not feeling Stacy. She is not feeling her. And I feel like Gizelle probably feels like she sees through something that Stacey is presenting. And I said it too. Stacey, and it could be no fault of her own, but it could be fault of her own, right? As I stated earlier, when you work in news or when you work in that TV presenting world, there's a persona that sometimes it's hard to shake. And given that this is a different TV gig for Stacey, I'm sure it may be challenging for her to leave some of that TV presenter at QVC or wherever she was before. But when you enter the world of reality TV, you've got to shed that wall and you've got to just exist and be. And I don't need my housewives to come onto the show. If you're single or if you're getting a divorce, just go through that. I don't need some cockamamie relationship. Not saying that, listen, Stacey says it was not. This man is saying it is. Gizelle is alleging it is. Gizelle, last time Gizelle came with some tea about Mia, it did turn out to be true. So, I mean, I don't know. So I don't know. But what I also know is that Gizelle says that Karen and Wendy have not spoken, and it will definitely be a very long time before they ever do again, which is going to make for a very interesting show when Karen does eventually return. I'm pretty sure she will. But I'm waiting to see how things shake out now that things are filming in Potomac. Who is in the mix? And why is Jazzy not in it? Oh, yes, the streets are talking. Jazzy is not in it. Jazzy's not in it. No, 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 no. And Mia has been caught not filming. Let me no. Let me not say filming. Lord have mercy. Mia has been hanging out with Shamia and Kelly. She went to, apparently Kelly had a brunch. So she did make an appearance there. What do you guys think about Mia joining Atlanta? It would be chaotic, but is it a good fit? Let us know in the chat. I'm looking for more Angelas, to be quite honest with you, for Atlanta. Like, not really another Angela per se, but just somebody that comes in and is just eases on into the group, and then eventually, as they proceed, they just find themselves in the midst of chaos. That's what I'm looking for. That is exactly what I'm looking for. And based on the comments, a lot of y'all are too. So anyway, those are the topics for today. If you guys have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell button. Like this video if you haven't already liked it. And with that being said, we will catch you in the next video.